안녕하세요. 5월 22일 입이 트이는 영어 공부를 시작하도록 하겠습니다. 오늘은 올해 전 세계 주식시장에 대해서 이야기해 주세요라는 주제에 대해서 공부를 해보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 그럼 시작하겠습니다. Talk about world stock market this year. Coronavirus hit a heavy blow on the global economy. As global economy slowed down, people reduce consumption a lot, and the companies investment were contracted. As overseas trips has decreased a lot, tourism and airline industries were hit very severely. On top of that, the reduction in oil price deteriorating the situation. Due to this event, global stock market were in panic. As uncertainty has increased, it has plummeted day by day. The drop continued as we don't know which would be the lowest. The United States, European, and Asian stock market has sharply dropped by more than 30% for only a couple of weeks. There was a day when American stock market has dropped the most in the history. Because of this drop, more than $1 trillion has just disappeared. 일단 이렇게 해봤는데요. 실제로 어떤 식으로 영어를 하는지 보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 그러면 시작해볼게요. Talk about the global stock market this year. The global economy was hit hard by the coronavirus. 제가 was hit hard를 제가 첫 번째 썼는지 중간중간에 썼는 것 같긴 한데요. The global economy was hit hard by the coronavirus. 그대로 쓸 수가 있군요. The global economy was hit hard. 이렇게 직역해 쓸 수 있다는 거 알아주시고요. As the global economy came to a standstill, consumption dropped dramatically and corporation activity slowed down. 이것도 통째로 외워야 될 것 같은 문장이네요. 다시 보시면 as the global economy came to standstill 이렇게 얘기하는 거죠. As the global economy came to standstill, consumption dropped dramatically. 소비가 줄었고 came to standstill이 경제가 뭐였죠? 경제가 멈추면서 came to a standstill군요. As the global economy came to a standstill, consumption dropped dramatically and corporation activity slowed down. 이게 그대로 직역이 되어 있습니다. Corporation activity slowed down. 그 다음에 overseas travel decreased sharply and the travel and airline industries took a huge hit군요. 큰 타격을 받았다. 오늘은 전체적으로 저희가 아는 문장들을 그대로 직역하면 될 것 같아요. Travel and airline industries took a huge hit. 그 다음에 the situation went from bad to worse due to the oil shock. 더 악화되었다를 went from bad to worse 이렇게 쓰는지 저도 몰랐네요. 다시 보시면 the situation went from bad to worse due to the oil shock. The situation went from bad to worse due to the oil shock. 이렇게 돼 있고요. 그 다음에 the global stock market fell into a panic because of all this. fell into a panic. 저는 그냥 in panic 이렇게 얘기했는데요. The global stock market was in panic 이렇게 얘기했는데 fell into a panic 이렇게 얘기하는군요. The global stock market fell into a panic because of all this. 이렇게 얘기합니다. The global stock market fell into a panic because of all this. The global stock market fell into a panic because of all this. 이렇게 하고요. 그 다음에 as uncertainty grew, market crashes continued day after day. Market crashes. As uncertainty grows. 여기서도 상승하면서 불확실성이 증대하면서는 uncertainty grow죠. 근데 여기서 grew 이렇게 썼고요. As uncertainty grew, market crashes continues. Market crashes. 여기서 market crash는 폭락. Market crashes continue. 이렇게 day after day. 저는 day by day 이렇게 했는데요. 그 다음에 the drop was so persistent that there was no end in sight. 이렇게 얘기합니다. The drop was so persistent that there was no end in sight. 끝이 보이지 않았다. There was no end in sight. 이렇게 얘기하는 이거를 거의 직역을 하는 것 같습니다. There was no end in sight. 끝이 보이지 않았다. There was no end in sight. The drop was so persistent that there was no end in sight. 이렇게 얘기하네요. The drop was so persistent that there was no end in sight. In just a matter of weeks, stock markets in the US, Europe, and Asia fell by more than 30%. In just a matter of weeks, for just a couple of weeks 이렇게 얘기하는 것 같은데 여기서는 in just a matter of weeks 이렇게 얘기하고요. 그 다음에 on one day the US stock market suffered the biggest drop in history. Suffered the biggest drop in history 이렇게 얘기해 줍니다. The stock market suffered the biggest drop in history. The stock market suffered the biggest drop in history. 이렇게 얘기해 주고요. 그 다음에 because of the stock market's steep decline. Because of the stock market's steep decline, trillions of dollars went on in stock. 증발해버렸다를 disappear 대신에 went up in smoke. 이렇게 얘기해 주네요. 오늘은 전반적으로 처음 들어보는 표현들이 많은 것 같아요. 근데 생각보다 직역하면 만들 수 있을 것 같은 표현들이라서 다 같이 한번 외워보면 좋겠습니다. 그럼 처음부터까지 한번 따라해보고 마치도록 하겠습니다. Talk about the global stock market this year. The global economy was hit hard by the coronavirus. As the global economy came to a standstill, consumption dropped dramatically and corporation activity slowed down. Overseas travel decreased sharply, and the travel and airline industries took a huge hit. The situation went from bad to worse due to the oil shock. The global stock market fell into a panic because of all this. As uncertainty grew, market crashes continued, day after day. The drop was so persistent that there was no end in sight. In just a matter of weeks, stock markets in the US, Europe, and Asia fell by more than 30%. On one day, the US stock market suffered the biggest drop in history. Because of the stock market's steep decline, trillions of dollars went up in smoke. 오늘은 여기까지 하도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.